Everyone, welcome. I'm sitting here with Railroad Earth, who just wrapped up a pretty fantastic acoustic set for us, and they were kind of stick around and answer some questions. So if you guys could maybe go around, introduce yourselves, and go at it.
Hello, my name is Andrew Altman, and I play the bass.
Todd Schaefer.
Gary Harmon.
John Skian.
Andy Gessling.
Tim Carbone.
Great. Well, thanks for coming in, guys. I guess for those people that are just now kind of discovering Railroad Earth, if you could maybe give us a little backstory about how you guys got together and how you guys got your start.
Well, it all happened at my house. I don't think anybody's going to come to a party at my house anymore because I had a bunch of informal jams at my house. And next thing you know, we had bought a van and we're on the road 150 days a year. They're all kind of still mad at me about that.
You guys, I read you guys played the Telluride Bluegrass Festival. After that was like your 10th gig or something like that. How did you just?
That was our 10th gig. And it's hard to believe, but it was.
And it went really well.
It was actually the first gig we got, but we decided to play some gigs before we got there, so we thought that would be a good idea.
For a while, we were playing now and again at a monthly jam session out at the Elks Lodge, hosted by the Pocono Bluegrass Society in Stroudsburg, and we were rehearsing a bit early on backstage. And I remember this is before we had even found out that the Telluride thing was happening, or we had any thought that it was going to happen. We were working on some vocals, I think, for Going to the Fields, and some guy who was hanging out rather wryly said, "What are you guys practicing for Telluride or something?" And we kind of laughed it off, and next thing we knew, yes, we were.
And then you're playing it.
Yeah, and then really practicing for Telluride.
Well, I understand that on the last record, Amen Corner, you guys recorded it in a farmhouse in rural New Jersey. Did you guys take the same approach for the new record, the self-titled record?
No, we didn't. We have a new song inspired in a way by that spot. It's called The Lonecroft Farewell, and the place where we recorded that album is called the Lonecroft. And it's interesting because it's I lived there for many years, so it's a place very dear to me. But circumstances changed, and I had to move out of there. No, we recorded the new album in Brooklyn, in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, which was kind of interesting. It's a wonderful scene going on out there. The producer Angelo has a studio in Williamsburg, and so we recorded in his space out there.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. I understand that improvisation is kind of a big role for you guys when you're doing your live shows. Is that also how you kind of craft new songs, or how do things come together for you guys?
Various ways. Some of them come about that way. More than others. There's a song on the new album, Spring-Heeled Jack, which is largely improvisational. John wrote the tune and allowed a lot of room in the performance and the recording for improvisation. Yeah.
I also noticed, I was kind of strolling through your SoundCloud page, and I noticed there was like a guitar solo contest for Blackout Speaks. How did that come about? What's the story behind that?
I think it was an idea hatched by somebody at the new record label, and we did receive some interesting submissions. One from, I believe, as far as Japan. In fact.
Cool. And did you guys get to pick the winner? And
we were not necessarily involved in the judging round, but I was lucky enough to actually be able to just lend an ear casually, and out of curiosity. And it's really, really interesting stuff, It's cool to hear people do their take on things like that.
Nice. Yeah, so if anybody's interested, you can check out their SoundCloud page and look at all the different solos that people sent in. It's pretty cool. And then I don't know if you guys have had a chance to walk through the halls, but I'm sure you may have noticed there's a lot of Grateful Dead stuff that played a big role in the world of Bill Graham. And I understand some years ago you got a chance to play with Phil Lesh, and I'm wondering what that was like and how that came about. And he actually played some of your tunes, right? And how that felt to kind of play with him and the story behind that whole scene.
Well, at first, John and I were invited to come out and join Phil and Friends at the Warfield in December of, 2005?
2004.
2004, yeah. So we did 3 shows with them, John and I did, and then during the Mardi Gras in 2005, he invited the whole band to come out, and we kind of traded songs. You know, like for what's that? His second set that we did, I can't remember. Was it?
I think in the second set, he brought us out pretty much en masse with his band, which is, you know, a large band as well. And he had selected 2 songs from the album we had out at that time called The Good Life. I believe we did Storms and another song called The Goat, but pretty much sandwiched in with Uncle John's band, Cumberland Blues, and I forget what else we did with it. But yeah, he had our tunes right in his set list, and we...
Cool. So was that something that kind of, was that a surprise to you guys, or were you prepared to have him play with your stuff?
You know, I think over the years, you know, those people, we have folks who come around from the dead community and, you know, believe in certain magic that attends that band and their amazing following, and we've been kind of, you know, I think touched by that. You know, the fans tend to like our music, and that sort of energy and that spirit somehow, you know, happens. I don't know.
You're following actually.
So was I personally surprised? You know, with that community, I'm not really surprised anymore. Synchronicity seems to happen. You know,
your following actually has, you know, there's the Deadheads, and then you guys actually have nicknames or fan-induced nicknames. The Hobos, is that?
They actually named themselves.
Name themselves.
Yeah.
So you guys, I mean, do you know the story behind how that became your fault? Like how they came to that name?
I think John.
Well, you know, I guess the train reference tends to follow us wherever we go. The band being called Railroad Earth, and the Hobos, I guess, seemed like a natural fit. Although most of them seem to have jobs and they pay, and, you know, places, residence like other people. So.
Cool.
We actually put on our album, The Good Life, the album cover. It seems like hieroglyphics. It's actual hobo symbols from back in the day, and they had interesting symbols to let each other know where the safe haven was, for example.
Where you could get a good meal, and they would etch them in, you know, on posts right by the rail station, or even on the fence in front of a house. You know, there's one symbol means you can get a good meal here.
And some symbols would say "man with gun."
Yeah.
Avoid. Yeah.
Watch out.
Cool. Well, I know you guys are pressed for time, so I'll wrap things up. But Railroad Earth, the self-titled record, is out now, and you guys are on tour through February and early March. Is that right? Cool. Yep. So go check them out. Thanks, guys, for stopping by. I really appreciate it. Amazing set, and thanks for sticking around for answering our questions.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks.
Take care.